Hello everyone, today I'm going to be removing the dashboard out of my 1982 Volkswagen Rabbit truck. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the little knobs off the end of each of these things. And you're going to want to remove the stereo as well. Mine was aftermarket, so probably won't be the same as everyone's, and I've already removed it anyway. Okay, so I think that might be everything. I don't know if these come off or not. I guess we'll see when we get that far. Next, I'm going to be removing this panel, which is underneath the steering wheel. There are a couple of Phillips head screws underneath it. Now you can just pop it down and move it out of the way. You can see these clips here that it just pulls out of. Got a 7mm to remove these bolts underneath the glove box. Next, there are these two screws on each side of the dashboard. I'm gonna remove them. Now I've got a 7mm. And I'm going to take out these two bolts at the middle of the dash here. Now I'm going to take out the screws on the top of this cover here. One there. Looks like there probably used to be one in the middle here. And then there's one on the other end down there. There is a couple of screws down at the bottom holding this panel on as well that you're gonna need to remove. Now you can just pull out on this cover and pull this out. I am going to remove all these gauges. There are 4 bolts, 2 on each side, and they are 7mm. Now that I've got the dash broken away from the clips in the back and I've got it pulled up a little bit so I've got some more room to work behind it, I'm unplugging all the wires that go to the gauges and the speedometer cable. Now I'm going to remove the rest of the wires that I haven't already unplugged. Right now I'm doing the speaker wires on the passenger side, and then I've still got in the middle of the dash the cigarette lighter and the hazard lights. I was able to push the heater and AC air control through the dash, so you don't need to unplug that if you're able to wiggle it inside the dash. And the light switch also needs to be unplugged. Here I am removing the bolts that hold in the heater control and the vents in the middle of the dash. They're all 7mm. I don't get a video of me pushing the heater control through the dash, but I am able to do it. You kind of have to turn it to the side and just work it through the dash. There's some cables that are kind of tricky to disconnect from it. And here I am removing the C-clip from the cold start cable. You just gotta pry it off and push the cable through. Okay, so I've got the dash out now. You can see at the back it has those clips that it clips into. I moved this bar out of the way, it goes up underneath, but just ignore it for now. There's a ground wire that goes to it. I was able to fish this thing through and keep it in here, so I didn't really have to unhook anything. But obviously this goes in there. There are wires that go to this side. I know these are the speaker wires. Can't remember what that went to. I don't even know if it was hooked up to anything. But there was the cigarette lighter you had to unplug, the hazard lights that you had to unplug, all the gauges. This was for the speedo. You have to unscrew this. I got some pliers on it and unscrewed it. And then there's this that plugs into it. Speakers over here, and this goes to the lights. I think it plugs in kind of like this, and it was kind of hard to get to, but you've got to unplug that, and then this, and just be careful when you're pulling it out. You don't want to tear a wire out or anything, so just pull it out very slowly. If you think you have everything unplugged, just to make sure that there's nothing still plugged in.